Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today, and if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. So today, I wanted to have a discussion about the issues with Adam's character, because over time, Adam has definitely changed from who he initially was, and I really wanted to talk about the issues and how some of these things could have been improved for Adam's character. So sit back, relax, I hope you all enjoy, and let's go ahead and get started. So we're looking at Adam Taurus. Adam Taurus at one time had great potential. His character was really going places at the end of Volume 3, and it really did look up for Adam. It seemed like Adam could have been a great antagonist character, and with him wanting to have justice for the discrimination against the Faunus, and the way he was going about it was obviously not justified, considering that he wanted humans to feel pain rather than try to create equality. But along the way, Adam lost his potential. Somewhere within the writing, it was dropped, and it hurt his character entirely. And to me, it feels like they just slowly destroyed his own character. And then Volume 6 became the final nail in the coffin for Adam. And I really want to go over this, because there could have been ways to improve Adam. And I'm going to talk about that too, but let's look at Adam's character first. When Adam was introduced within the Black Trailer, for one, he was in RWBY history the first male character to ever be introduced into the series, but secondly, he was Blake's mentor, showing that he had an important role within Blake's life, and later on that was to be thrown in as a romantic relationship as well, but the original concept idea here was actually a mentor and student relationship. Now, with Adam, he was a character that wanted justice, and along that path, it went from justice to spite, and he became corrupted over time, and his justice became more and more unjustifiable. The way that he viewed justice wasn't right over time. Originally, yes, he wanted to make things right for all Faunus, and he wanted equality, just like Blake did, just like every other Faunus did, but because of the issues that continue to happen with the White Fang and the Faunus, such as how Gira originally wanted to have peaceful protest, because that was the whole point of the White Fang. They were to peacefully go about things. They weren't trying to be aggressive originally. Then Sienna Khan disagreed with his judgment and with his ideology, and made it more of an aggressive association, making the White Fang more into the ideas of immoral and unjust, which then later on started to show Adam's corruption more, because Sienna Khan even fostered this. She fostered what Adam had become, and with Adam's first murder being human, this is what forever changed his character. He went on to believe that what he was doing was right, and he even got praise for it. And because of this, murder seemed to be right to Adam when it came to humans. We start to see it a little more with the sadistic side when they're in the Shanida's company and they're attacking it in the Adam character short, and he almost kills the human until Sienna tells him to come with her. You see, we start to see the change. Now, these are great things that they did with Adam's character, and I think that the Adam character short did a lot of justice to Adam's character after Volume 5, and the next thing that we do get to see of Adam is he's finally going to reveal his mask, in which he does, and when he does reveal it, we see the brand. Now, this was yet again a good move, but it was also executed badly. Now, why do I say it's good yet bad at the same time? Now, here's the reason. While this shows you discrimination of the Faunus, it shows that he doesn't really care about it, though, because when he says that other people hurt him and did terrible things to him, Blake was what hurt him the most. By showing that Adam didn't care about this mark, this brand that he had over his eye, it really hurt this scene, because he then goes on to state that Blake hurt him more than anyone else ever could. And that's a problem, because this means that they've done the same thing that they did in Volume 5. They continued to make him about Blake. They took the complexity out of Adam's character, and they made him one-dimensional when it came to Blake. See, this is the problem here, because what's the point of the brand being there if this doesn't affect him by any means? What's the point in hiding the brand if it does not bother him? You see, the big issue here is that with him not feeling anything for this brand, this leaves this moment that could have been very powerful with him explaining how this affected him, and instead, this tears that moment apart. It could have been powerful in the degree of him stating, this is how this brand affected me, and then that would have been good, because while showing off the brand, it would have also been excellent to say, hey, this is what this has done in my life. This is how this has hurt me so badly. And it would have been a good way of showing discrimination, in which RWBY has had a problem with doing when it comes to the fondness. They have had a hard time and not really shown any discrimination very much. And so that's kind of the problem there. And with leaving this one-dimensional to Blake now, just stating that she hurt him and nothing behind the idea of the fondness discrimination, well, it just hurts Adam. And let's be real, Volume 5 did no justice for Adam, considering Blake had her one punch moment and just completely knocked Adam out, making him look completely awful as a character, because at that moment, to me, that's when they killed Adam. Realistically, I think that that's when they destroyed Adam's character, because it didn't help him, and they further continued this in Volume 6. Now, I want to just bring up something in comparison. While Adam had great potential as a character, I want to explain this about Mercury. Mercury was done right, and I want to make a comparison to how Adam was done wrong and Mercury was done right here for a second, because while Adam's complexity died off and became this one-dimensional thing for Blake, and that's really all it became, Mercury as a character, when they went into Mercury, we get to see more to his character. Before this, we saw a carefree, sadistic side to the character, but we didn't really know how he felt. And he's more of a carefree character and sadistic because this is all he knows, because of the pain that he went through in his life. The pain that his father put him through has put him in this state of showing the abuse that he went through makes him to where he doesn't want to be vulnerable to others, because it makes him feel weak, and that if he were to feel vulnerable and put down his guard, then that would give somebody else the opportunity to completely hurt him like his father did. Now you see, why this is great writing is because the way they treated Mercury here, this gives you an idea of how he feels. This tells you of his backstory and the pain that he went through and how that's all that he knows. And this was good writing for Mercury's character, and it really gave us a lot into the mind of what Mercury is feeling. But with Adam, we don't get this, and this is a problem. And I want to go back on Volume 3 for a brief moment, because they did this very well with Adam. At one time, they really proved they had great writing for Adam, and let me explain this one. So, when it came to Blake and Adam having their confrontation again in Volume 3, Adam and Blake have this conversation about equality and fondness. How Blake was fighting for the equality of the fondness while Adam doesn't care about that. While he wants justice for how they treated the fondness. And this was good. And then he goes on to state how he's going to hurt Blake because she hurt him. Now see, here's the thing about that. This is a great moment because he still feels for that pain of discrimination he went through, as well as he feels for the pain that Blake put him through by running away. So this is on an equal term, and it's not that bad. It shows you that this character is very complex and that he has more than one motive. While he wanted to hurt Blake, at the same time he wanted to get back at humanity. This was actually fair. This showed you that he still had issues. But it feels like later on, when they just decided to start dropping these ideas, it just seemed that Adam was more or less only here for one reason, and that was to really just be the conclusion to Blake and Yang's arc. That it would just be for their character development, and that his character really just felt like it didn't matter. It felt like he was there to have a good display of a fight, and then just be discarded to develop these characters. And while I don't have a problem with developing characters, and I don't have a problem with Blake and Yang being developed, that's not a problem to me. It's just, I feel that there just wasn't respect here towards Adam's character. It's either A, they didn't respect him, or B, they just wrote him into a corner and they didn't know what to do next because the White Fang were pretty much finished at that point. And that's the thing that really hurt. And with Adam still, another thing I want to bring up that showed you they still had some potential in Volume 5 for his character was with the Sienna Khan scene. It was how he was talking to her about how humans were lesser than them, and that they had exactly what humans had and more, and that they should basically just be the slaves of the fondness. Now, where this is actually good is that it still shows you one thing. Adam still has issues with humanity for the way that he was treated. So they didn't just up and throw away the idea of Adam still being hurt by humans. But halfway through Volume 5, the issue was they started to make it about Blake. And that's where that comes in. Because Corsic and Finnick even state after their message from Adam, he seems to have changed. And it seems to start to revolve around Blake there. So it seems that once that comes up, they just drop the idea of the fondness discrimination on his part, that it doesn't seem to faze him anymore. And then we get the finale where it just seems like when it comes to Blake and Adam's confrontation there is not really a fondness discrimination there. It really just seems more about these two characters. It just seems more about Adam being concerned when it comes to Blake. And that just seems to be his only motivator at that point. And that becomes the problem. And then when we go into the beginning of Volume 6, the other members of the White Fang even point out that Blake is what became Adam's problem. And then Adam kills them all in the throne room. And that's when Adam does what? Thinks about Blake. And that's all we get. It's like the old Adam died. It's like he was just gone, and there was this new Adam that replaced him. And what they should have done here is they should have tried to have Adam rethink things. They should have had him try to rebuild the White Fang again. And then what they could have done here is they could have gone a little bit into his discrimination, because there still could have been the Adam Blake and Yang fight. Or what they could have done is he could have dropped the White Fang entirely, and he could have just been his own driving force. His own hatred could have consumed him, and then he could just take out anybody and everybody. And this could have been kind of like an idea of being mad like a bull and as stubborn as a bull, because what that could have done, that could have actually made him like a rampaging bull, and he could have actually went and attacked everybody and everything. This could have shown the malice in his heart, and it could have shown that from all the discrimination and from even Blake leaving him, this could have actually just had all this rage and hatred build up to where everybody is his enemy, and Adam could be his own greatest enemy as well. And another thing that the backstory did not do, which still leaves questions to this very moment, like for example, when did he get the brand? We know that he got it by the Shinida's company. Was it because he defied them? Was it because during one of the raids that he got captured? There's that. What was his childhood like? Did humans kill his parents? Had he been abused by humans from the time he was a child? Did his family get abused by humans as well? I mean, what exactly happened there? What led him to want justice? I mean, we know he wants justice, but what led him to this? You see, we have questions that still have yet to be answered, but now they probably will never be answered because Adam is dead. And the best opportunity to have gone into a backstory at this point would have been during the Blake, Yang, and Adam fight. But now that that's over with, we will probably now never get any of these questions to be answered. And that's really a shame, because it just feels like they either wrote Adam into a corner or they just didn't care about Adam in the end. But hopefully they'll learn to do better with the characters in the future in these regards. But anyways, let me know what you think down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments down below. But anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. And if you did enjoy, hit the video with a like, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and share this with your friends if you found this informative or useful. Anyways, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today. And remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow could always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you, and have yourselves a good one out there, everybody.